regarding more of the controversy, the question is, are all vendors going to be allowed into the market? Because there's a lot of gossip spreading in the community that, for example, crafters are out, or other vendors will just be excluded from the market.
Yeah, I've heard the gossip. The gossip is false. We made a very conscious decision that we would include all current vendors of the Santa Rosa market, and that includes crafters. I know that some people are there only on an occasional basis or seasonal basis, and I don't really know, we don't really know today how many of those people are out there, so they may not actually be in the market today, but you know, normally they would be in the market a little bit later or something like that. So here's what we expect. We expect that because we're going to enforce some of the rules more, like you have to be a certified producer to be in the certified part of the market. You have to have the proper health code licenses if you're going to be selling processed meats or processed foods or anything of that nature. You're going to have to be insured and name the farm market as a co-insured on your insurance policy. We believe that some vendors will not meet those requirements, so there will be some booth space made available in that process. We don't know what that number is. Could be zero. Could be everybody's going to run out and make sure they've got insurance and everything, and then they'll all come, and that's fine. If that's the case, what we're going to do is actually expand the boundaries of the market to be able to bring some of the vendors back into the market who have either been excluded unfairly in our view, or who have just never been allowed in the market. Now, that being said, the priority will be given towards farmers, ranchers, and ag producers. That doesn't mean we're not going to support craft vendors and food vendors and others. We believe the market needs to be a fun place, and that it needs to have a good offering for a wonderful time on Saturday.
How will the applications be processed?
So what we've said is that we want to see people's applications who are currently in the market by April 15th. So we want to put all those people in front of potential new vendors. Again, those applications will simply be approved, assuming that they have the proper paperwork or can supply it before July 4th. Okay, so they don't necessarily, if they don't have it all right now, let's say they don't have insurance, for example, they will need to be able to supply that to us before we actually open on July 4th. Then new vendors we're going to be looking at on a point system. But the concept there is that you get points for doing certain things, like, for example, being local. That gives you points, as opposed to being, you know, out of Mexico or California, Southern California, or somewhere else. Okay, you get points for having a good product line. If you're currently in other markets, you know, we want to look at the ambiance that you create in your booth. You know, are your products well displayed? Do you have, you know, the proper pricing on everything? That's another, by the way, area where we think that we need to enforce the rules a little more, because the certified farm market rules require that everything be priced in the marketplace. So you end up with a point score when we get this done, and that gives you a priority into the marketplace. So if you've got a higher point score, you've got a higher priority than somebody else. And then we're going to see, do we have space? And we want to make space, again, for people that end up with a good point score because they're local, they're growing their own fruits, they're growing their own vegetables, they're growing their own meats, and so forth. The concept, again, is we want to provide space for as many local ag producers and farmers as we possibly can, and we want to build the customer base to make those people successful. You also put in there whether or not we would have a more quote, corporate management style.
Right.
And I would say that there's some truth to that. I actually believe that one of the problems that the farmers markets have experienced is they don't have experienced managers on their board. They don't have people who have run larger nonprofits, who have run bigger businesses. And so I think that's lacking. I think that the organization needs some more business-oriented leadership. I think what you would see with that is not that the friendliness of the market would change or the appearance would change to the customer, but what you would see is there would be more advertising for the market, there would be more promotion of the farmers, there would be more of an orientation towards driving customers to the marketplace, because that is what will support all of the vendors. Having a mindset that there is a finite number of customers and that you won't be able to get any more is not the way a business usually looks at this kind of a problem. A business usually says, well, gee, here's all of the potential farmers I could bring to the table here. How would I go out into the community and get enough customers to take care of them? Mm-hmm. I'll add another little point, though, which is in some areas we do feel that more discipline is needed. We do feel that all of the vendors need to be certified if they're in the certified portion of the market. We do feel that nobody should be allowed to sell if they don't have the proper health code clearances, if they're selling meats and processed foods. We do feel that that the market needs due process as well. And when I say that, I mean that if I go to apply to the market, I should first of all get an application. That would be nice. I should be able to fill it out. I should be reviewed by a committee, not necessarily only of other vendors, because other vendors might have personal agendas to keep somebody out because they don't want to compete with them. I should be reviewed. There should be some rational basis for me being either accepted or rejected by the market. If I'm in the market today and I've done something wrong, or the market manager thinks I've done something wrong, I think there should be due process. The market manager should have to write up what they think I've done wrong. That I should be able to go in front of the committee and say, I think I didn't do the wrong thing. So we believe that more structure is needed to run a successful market. Mm-hmm.